Hello everyone, thanks for joining today. We're going to go through a restorative yoga session. It's a little different style of yoga where we're going to use props to help support us through the various poses. And then once we sort of get into the pose, we will hold the pose for an extended period of time. And of course you can settle into the pose, close your eyes. I will keep track of the time and then, transition us from one pose to another. So to start, a couple props that'll be helpful for you for this session. One would be a folded blanket, a couple blocks, and if you don't have blocks, you could substitute with a sturdy book, for example. And then there's also a bolster here, a yoga bolster, or if you don't have a yoga bolster, you can utilize a couple pillows, or a couch cushion will also work just as well. And of course you have your yoga mat, so bring it on out, get comfortable, make sure you set your space so that the temperature feels good. Any rituals that you like to do, any incense you like to burn, now's the time to get that going. And then meet me on the mat. I'm gonna grab the folded blanket and I'm gonna place it at the top of my mat. And I'm going to use it as a pillow. I recommend you do the same. So to start, let's bring the soles of the feet on the mat, bring the arms out in front of you, and then one vertebra at a time, very slowly, very mindfully. Let's slowly lower onto our mat. And then from here, let's bring those feet in just a little bit. And let's hug the right knee into the chest, stretching the left leg out, maybe point the toe, hold here, and switch, hugging the left knee in, stretching the right leg out. Couple more times here, just switch, hugging that right knee into the chest. And switch, bringing the left knee into the chest. Last time on either side, right knee to the chest. Give it a nice, good squeeze. And left knee. Now hug both knees into the chest and rock side to side. Massaging through the kidneys and the adrenal glands here. Now slowly come to stretch, pointing the toes, bringing the arms up and overhead. Stretch nice and long here. Breathing into the belly. Feel the belly and the chest rise. Now come to relax the feet, so maybe the toes are splayed out towards the corners of the room. Bring your right hand to your belly, left hand on your chest, and close your eyes. And without doing anything, without bringing any focus or attention to anything with the intention of changing, just observe the breath in its natural state in this moment. Feel free, if you like, to close your eyes and just arrive to this moment, letting go of anything that you were doing before you got here, letting go of anything that you need to do after this. Just being here in this moment, welcoming yourself to your practice. Now let's bring a little bit focus and attention to the breath. On your next inhalation, breathe deeply into the belly. Feel the right hand rise. Feel the chest rise. Pause at the top and exhale slowly. Inhale, feel the belly, diaphragm and chest rise. And exhale, connecting to your breath in an intentional way here. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale. Inhale, belly rises. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. Inhale, belly rises. Counting and hold. Counting down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Inhale, belly rises, and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the breath. Release the hands down to your mat and just gently come to lay in a fetal position on your left side. Take a deep breath in here and just sigh it out. Deep breath in. One more time. Very good. Slowly press the earth away from you and come to a seated posture. Let's take a deep breath in, reaching the arms up overhead, palms touch, exhale, palms to the heart center. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, palms up, exhale to heart center. Inhale, palms up, and exhale to heart center. I invite you in this moment to set an intention or a prayer or a wish, whatever you're drawn to for today. It could be an idea, it could be a word. Just take a moment here and bow your head to your chest and just set that intention. Hey, buddy. Flutter the eyes open. We're going to bring our palms on the mat, swinging the feet behind us into a tabletop position. Now from here, just check your alignment. We want our wrists under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. And let's tuck the toes under, drop the belly for cow. Inhale. And exhale, pushing the earth away from us, round the spine into cat. Inhale, drop the belly, round, look up. Exhale, pushing the earth away from you, round the spine. Couple more times like this. Inhale, look up at your own pace, following your breath. Exhale, cat. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Bring the spine to neutral. And we're going to cross the ankles behind us and come to sit in our in our easy posture. Bringing the hands on the knees here. And again, if you find that when you're sitting on your mat that this is not comfortable, your knees maybe are up here, there are some options, right? You can grab your bolster and sit on your bolster. You could sit on the blanket and see if that helps to lower the knees. We never want the knees to be higher than the hips. So you might have to play with it a little bit, find some ways to support yourself or to elevate the tailbone so that way you have a better alignment here. Excellent. So from here, let's settle into that natural S curve of the spine. And we want to root into the earth. So we want our lower body, our legs to be very relaxed here. But then we want to feel a lift from the torso, crown rises skyward, okay? And from here, we're going to bring the chin to the chest. As we inhale, bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Chin to chest, exhale. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Now, if you have any contraindications or any issues with the cervical spine, then just stay here and follow your breath and do this. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Now, if you don't have any contraindications or prior surgeries, then feel free on your next inhale to roll the head through the cervical spine, look up, and then left ear, left shoulder as you exhale and come back down to the chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder, look up. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest. A couple more times, just like this. Very slowly, very mindfully. We're not in a rush here. And if something doesn't feel right, back off of it for today, All right, as you come to the chest, let's reverse the circling in the opposite direction. It's very important when we are doing our yoga and our exercises, our postures, etc., that we honor ourselves, we honor our body, and we don't push against those boundaries that our body might set for us that day, and sometimes, even I'm guilty of this. I might say, well, but I could do this yesterday. Why can't I do it today? And you know what? There's no rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes you have to accept what is. Chin to chest, bring the head back up to neutral. And then again, connecting breath and motion, we're going to roll the shoulders up, forward, and down. So just like that, up, forward, and down. And feel free, if you feel compelled, close your eyes as you go through this. We're just trying to work out any stickiness that might be in the neck and shoulders from sitting all day. And now let's reverse it. So now we're going to go up, back, and down. So you want to feel those shoulder blades sort of melting down towards the tailbone. Excellent. Okay, let's come into our first posture. So we're going to need our bolster. And let me move my blanket just a little bit forward on the mat. So I brought my folded blanket about midway on my mat, and I'm just going to sit my left hip on it to start with. Grab your blocks because you might need them, so you might want to have them handy. And since I'm facing the left direction, I'm just going to put the blocks on the left side of my mat for now. Hello there. All right. We are going to grab our bolster like so, and we want to place it abutting to our blanket and up against our hip. So you may have to adjust your hip just a little bit. Make sure that it's up against the bolster, and the bolster is kind of in the long orientation, right? With the shorter end up against you. Okay, from here we have options, right? So we could stay with our knees stacked like this. If you're looking for a little bit of a deeper stretch here, you can stagger the legs by, bringing your right knee to the bottom of the left foot, like so. But let's start first with the knees stacked, see how you feel in the posture, and then you can make that adjustment for yourself later. Now, placing the left hand on the bolster, palm down, slide the hand forward, up along the spine of the bolster, and slowly come to lie on the bolster on your side. Now here's where the block is going to be handy, and again, the block has several levels or orientations depending on what you might need today. So this would be like a level 3, this would be like a level 2, placing your hand on the long spine here, and then this would be a level 1, sort of holding it as a book between your two hands. So I'm going to grab the block and I'm going to place it between my two hands here, like so, and just resting my head on my left arm. Now again, like I said, if you want a little deeper stretch in the hip here, what you can do is you can just slowly slide that right leg out, bringing the knee to the sole of the left foot, and just breathe here into the right hip. Now if you feel, hey, I would like a little bit more support for my left hand, then feel free to grab your second block and just kind of shimmy it under to give you that extra support that you might need. So, and as you settle in, close your eyes, and like I mentioned, I will keep the clock so that I can keep track of how long we're in this position, and when it's ready for us to kind of switch out of this position to the next one, I'll let you know. So just connecting to the breath. Deep breath in here, exhale. And you might find that, you know, your mind may wander, and that's okay. That's okay. Let your mind wander. Just observe any thoughts as clouds passing overhead. And just bring yourself back to the breath. You know, if ever the chatter becomes too much, the chatter of the mind, just bring yourself back to that connection with the breath. Placing your block on the ground. Bring your right hand to your mat and slowly press up into a seated posture, very slowly, very mindfully. And then once you're seated upright, grab your block and bring it to the other side of your mat. And we're just going to slowly switch sides here. So we'll come to sit on the right hip. Like I said, we'll start with the knees stacked, and then we can, whatever you did on the other side, I recommend trying it on this side as well. But as always, honor your body, honor where you are for today. So placing the right hand on the bolster. Slide the right hand towards the top of the bolster. Coming into this stretch, grab your block, place it between your hands, and then, right, if you staggered the legs in the last pose, feel free to try it on this side. See how it feels. Breathing into the left hip, breathing into the left side of the body. Feel free to close your eyes. Placing your block on the ground next to your mat. Feel free to place your left hand on the mat or on the bolster and slowly rise back to the top. From here, we're going to do a spinal twist. So we might want to keep that block handy. Let's go back to the left side. And again, the knees, let's start with them stacked. And bring either palm on either side of the mat and turn to face the mat, or face the bolster, I should say. All right, now slowly walk the hands forward onto the bolster as you lower your body down. Now, here's where we have some options. You can bring the left ear down onto the bolster and just stay right here in this twist. Or if you're looking for something a little deeper in the twist, bring your right ear to the bolster and rest your right ear to the bolster. Whichever feels appropriate for you today. Again, we're not trying to force ourselves into a deeper twist than we're able to perform. And again, with the legs, you can leave the knees stacked like so, or if you want to stagger the legs as you did in the prior pose, feel free, whichever works for you today. And I will keep the time, so feel free to shut your eyes And relax into this twist. Breathing into the torso, breathing into the spine. Nice deep breaths. Cleansing any stickiness or stiffness in the rib cage. Pressing into the palms. Slowly lift the torso and walk the hands back towards center. Now let's switch and do the other side. So coming to sit on the right hip once more. And we're gonna turn with the knees still stacked right now. Turn, placing either hand on either side of the bolster. And then slowly walk the hands up the bolster, bring the palms to the earth. And again, keeping in mind what you did on the other side, try to do it on this side. So if you had your right ear on the bolster in the last posture, try and see if you can turn your left ear to also rest on the bolster. But if you cannot, that's fine. Just bringing the right ear to the bolster. And relax into this twist. And again, if you want to stagger the legs, feel free, bringing the left knee to the sole of the right foot. Close your eyes, taking some deep breaths here, cleansing the depths of the lungs. Bring your right ear to rest on the bolster. Take a deep breath here. And exhale. Pressing weight into the palms, slowly walk the hands back towards your hips. And then come to sit in a neutral posture. Take a deep breath in, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center. All right. From here, let's grab our bolster and swing it forward. And let's grab one block and bring it towards the bottom of the mat where we're sitting. And let's swing the legs over the bolster and bring the bolster close to the sit bones. Now, feel free to wiggle and adjust as you need to. The key here is to make sure that your heels are touching the ground or the mat. Want to make sure we have that correct alignment. Now, all right, once we have that, keep the block handy as we will need it. I am sitting on the blanket. Feel free to also sit on the blanket just so it's a little bit more comfortable. And we're gonna inhale the arms up and reach up as if you wanna grab something off the top of the shelf overhead. So lifting up energetically through our seat. The legs, again, heels remain on the ground. And then hinging from the hips, we're gonna reach forward very slowly. Now, this is where we're gonna grab our block and you're gonna have to play with it a little to figure out which adjustment, which level is gonna work for you. But you could start on the highest level here and just bring your third eye or the area between your eyebrows to rest against the block here, like so. Now here's where you have some options. You can gently rest your hands, just kind of draping those fingers over the soles of the feet. You can hug the soles of the feet like so, or if you want to just rest the hands on top of the feet or on top of the shins, that's okay too. Whatever works here for you is what I recommend. And, play with it a little, be a little curious. Maybe you want to go a little deeper into this forward fold. So just take the level of the block down a little bit more and see if that works. And then try to bring your third eye there and play with it, right? Be curious, test the boundaries respectfully here and see how that feels. If it feels good, then great, stay there for today. If it doesn't feel great at any point, then pull back and just go back to the highest setting. And feel free to close your eyes. I will keep time here. So close your eyes, breathing into the back of the body, into the lower back. Oftentimes we are always very forward facing in our lives, driving to work or looking at, our face in the mirror all the time, and we neglect our back. We neglect to think about the back of us, so here in this moment, bring some awareness, bring some attention to the back of the body. Bring the breath in through the back of the body and just enjoy this sensation of this supported forward fold. Take a deep breath in here and an audible sigh. Slowly release the third eye from the block and place the block to the side, and then walk the hands back towards the hips until you come into a upright position. And let's go with our last posture. So sliding the bolster out from under the knees. Let's grab both of our blocks. Let's do our last posture before Savasana. So put both blocks kind of at the top of your mat and stack them one on top of the other like so, like you were stacking a couple bricks, let's say. I'm going to move the blanket just a little bit forward and come to sit. Grab your bolster, and you want the top of your bolster to rest on top of those stacked blocks there. And you just want to check, make sure you got that resting properly. All right. And then make sure you, again, abut the blanket up against the bolster. Now, come to sit on the blanket and just kind of shimmy yourself so that your tailbone is kind of resting against that bolster. And then bring the feet out in front of you like so. And my feet are sort of flexed, but not actively so, right? Because we want to keep it nice and limber, nice and loose. Now, bring the palms of your hand on either side of the bolster. So kind of like this, if you can see what my hands are doing. And then slowly bending at the elbows, slowly lowering the torso onto the bolster. And then tuck the chin in just very slightly because we want to keep the neck elongated here. Now what to do with the hands? Well, bring them onto the ground. And the feet can kind of splay out with the toes kind of pointing into the corners of the room. Palms face up. Take a deep breath in here. Inhale. And an audible sigh. Closing the eyes. Now this may feel a little intense as it is a chest opener, so it may bring up some emotions for you. As long as it's not too intense or intolerable, just let it flow, whatever may come, whatever thoughts, whatever feelings. There's no judgment here. It's completely fine. So close the eyes. Connecting and staying connected to that breath. Just pay attention as you inhale and exhale. And any thoughts you may have, just watch them float by. So imagine you're laying on a grassy meadow. The sun is shining. You can feel its warmth on your cheeks. And there's some clouds overhead, just kind of floating by. So as you have a thought, just let it float by. We never want to hold our breath. We always want to bring an intention to our breath and to our practice, maintaining that connection. Fluttering the eyes open. Bring the palms face down and kind of shimmy them under your tailbone, pressing into that bolster. Now slowly press into that bolster and lift the torso up into a seated position. Excellent. Now let us prepare for our final pose, Savasana. And we're going to take about 10 minutes in Savasana today. Of course, if you feel compelled to spend more time, by all means, take your time with it. So I'm just going to clear my mat. So I'm going to move my block off my mat. I'm going to move the blanket to the top to use as a pillow, as I did before. And one thing I love to do in Savasana, you might want to give it a try, is I love to put the bolster under my knees. I find that it helps to root my lower back into the mat. So give it a shot, see how you like it. If you want to grab an extra blanket just to cover yourself in your Savasana, feel free to do that. I'll give you a minute here. So in terms of what I'm doing with the bolster, I'm going to just kind of shimmy it as close as I can to my sit bones. Again, I want to make sure my heels are on the mat. And then I'm just going to slowly lower myself to my mat, one vertebra at a time. And you might have to adjust and wiggle here, find what works, find what's comfortable. So as you can see, my heels are on the mat and my toes are relaxed. And I'm going to bring my arms out, palms face up. Let's take a deep inhale here and let it all out. Audible sighing can be a great way to relieve tension and stress. So anytime you're going through your day and it just becomes too much, just feel free to use this breath. So make any last minute adjustments that you might need to feel comfortable. And close the eyes. Take a deep inhale and exhale. The mind is always going to chatter. It's always going to think about what comes next, where it was before, and it's always going to worry. And, that's okay. We just have to accept that. We have to accept that that's its job. Its job is to plan and to think. But we can take the time for ourselves to show up here and connect to our breath, to try to help quiet the mind or focus the mind. So if ever you're in meditation and you feel like your mind is just not letting you enjoy that moment, just connect to the breath. Just notice the breath. Notice, oh, okay, I'm inhaling. Okay, and now I'm exhaling. Right? Just always come back to the breath. I'm going to share a little poetry with you while you're in your Savasana. Before everything we knew changed, I had always thought courage came from the people around me. That I was braver because I had my mother to lean on, or my brother to call, or my friends to hold me up. But when the world shut down and we became separated from all the things we knew and all the people we loved, I was alone. I wondered every day where I would find the courage if I was alone. Courage is from the heart. It is the center of us. The reason our blood flows through our veins and our lives carry on. The heart suffers many things: broken from others, grievances of life, rejection, disappointment, overwhelming fear, but it also holds room for joy, love, admiration, and tranquility. Without having heart, we cease to live. More importantly, courage comes from having heart. Introducing a little movement back to the body, maybe moving your toes or wiggling your fingers. Maybe shake the head a little no. If you are using a bolster, bring your feet on top of the bolster, keeping your eyes closed, and then slowly turn, and feel free to just kind of push the bolster away with your feet. Come to lay in a fetal position on the left side. Just take a moment here. We spend so much of our lives rushing from one thing to the next. But let's just take that moment here. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Now keeping the eyes closed as best you can, bring the right palm onto the ground in front of you and slowly push the earth away as you come slowly to sit in your easy posture, or as they said in kindergarten, crisscross applesauce. Take a deep breath in and out. Keeping the eyes closed, inhale, palms reach up overhead. Exhale, palms to the heart center, fluttering the eyes open. I want to thank you very much for joining me today for this sacred practice. Feel free to join us for some other courses as well. We have lots of other offerings. If you're looking for more of a hatha yoga or a gentle flow, those are going to be also available. And if you liked this video, please like, subscribe to our channel so that you get updates on when we post. From my heart to yours, thank you very much for joining me today.